Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, friends and family of Theater 444. Whether you are watching this live on Facebook with us or viewing this later on, because that's something that we can do with technology, and that's pretty cool. I am here about a week and a half after the musical live broadcast sensation Daddy Longlegs, produced by Theater 444, with cast and crew of the production itself in our Daddy Longlegs reunion.
Yay! It's been so long.
It's been so long. What have you all been up to in the last 10 days? That's not a real question. But already Exercise Zoo from our friend Randy in Vegas.
Randy.
Who else
So
is here?
I
Tell
know-
us you're here. Tell us who's
Yes,
joining
if
us
you are
online.
watching, let us know. If you have any questions for the cast or crew, type in those questions. We will answer everything, even questions about romantic relationships that popped up during the production. Backstabbing, tears, anything that happened. We're going to find out about all of it right here on this Tuesday night. I've been watching too much Survivor. We'll reel it back in. So,
It was just like Survivor.
my first question.
Literally, like COVID Survivor.
Jeff
With-
Probst has another thing coming.
Pam is a great segue into my first question, which is about the reason for doing the show this way, live streaming Daddy Longlegs with a two-person cast. The way that you did it was in response to the pandemic. So did everyone remain healthy?
Knock
So
on
far,
wood.
so good.
Yeah, right?
We followed protocols. We took our temperature every night when we got to the theater, and we sorry, that's RJ texting me because he's running late.
Shocker.
So Garrett,
Where's the
respond to RJ. So
On
we took our temperature, we recorded that every night, we used hand sanitizer, we were like really diligent about keeping our space. We wore our masks during rehearsal. Damon and Marilla did not wear masks during the show. A lot of times during rehearsal, they had their masks on because a lot of times they didn't because they were far apart from each other. But the times when they were close, they kept their masks on. So, we got more visitors.
Put a mask on it. Oh, it's John William and Paul.
Welcome.
And
Great.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that everyone. It's good to hear that everyone remained healthy, which of course was the priority in figuring out how to present musical theater during COVID. So that's good to hear. I am really curious about what it was like to perform the show without an audience. I know in our two interviews that we did leading up to the production weekend, we wondered what that would be like. We, discussed it a little bit, but now you've lived it. So what was it like knowing that people were watching, but not being able to see or hear them?
Well, it might have been different for me because I was like on the computer watching the stream and really being able to see people posting photos and showing us where they were and what they were doing while they were watching, and they were really responding with us. And so it was sort of cool to connect in that way. So I had that experience, but I know the others did not have that experience. So.
Yeah, I would say for me, it was definitely going into it. I didn't know what to expect, and I felt like I thought it would feel like a rehearsal every night. I thought it would feel like a dress rehearsal because those are the empty theater nights and you run the show like you're really running it, but no one's there. So I figured this is fine. This is a dress rehearsal. It's fine. However, it was amazing how much energy was present in the theater on those nights that we were streaming, partly because of what Pam said. People were really wonderful about commenting and talking about what they were doing. But really just, I don't know how it happened, but just knowing that those people were there and they were really rooting for us and they were really excited about having a night at the theater, quote unquote, it felt like a night at the theater through those cameras. I don't know how all the audience, but the audience made that happen. Like we had no control over that. So that was really kind of magical for me, I think.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, Marilla. That's a really good point. And also, it was just different. The flow just felt it felt different. I guess it felt like smoother in a sense, but something was missing, but it was still there. And at the same time, I sometimes I found myself, I don't know if Marilla would agree with this, but I carried a lot of energy off of Marilla as well throughout the show. The better our connection got in the room, the better I started to feel, because that's really all I had to feed off of that was in the room.
I agree.
Yeah, and that was a different feeling. It was comforting, but you didn't necessarily, you had to have a lot of trust in each other, I guess.
Right. Right. I think that's totally true. I think that more than any other show, in a lot of shows when you're on stage, the audience is there and you draw so much energy from that first hit of applause. Every performer gauges what the audience is like on the first time they start clapping. Is it a great energetic audience or is this audience kind of quiet? And that we're all guilty of taking that energy with us the rest of the show. If it's a really high energy audience, then we've got a great show. And if it's low energy, it feels like we've got to work on it. But you couldn't do that. So yeah, I think it depended on you and I really reading each other's energy and keeping our energy up and communicating that, we had each other's back on stage. So that was a new experience, I think, for me too.
Yeah.
What was funny is I think every night when I would walk down I was up in the balcony and I would come down and the two of them would look at me like, was that good? Like they really didn't know. Like they just wanted some feedback, they're like, well, how'd that go?
It was really cool. I paid close attention to everything that was happening all weekend online because I thought it was so interesting what you all were doing together. The number of people that did post pictures of their screens, of how they were watching, of who they were watching with. And I almost feel like at least the online presence of the show was greater, with people being more forthcoming about sharing that they were there, that they were watching, what they thought of it, because that was the only option they had. If everybody would behave that way while also seeing a show in person, that would help theater so much. So being optimistic, when we get back to doing in-person performance, say after, tell everybody how much you loved it, but then get on Facebook and tell it to your whole Facebook community how much you loved it so that more people can see it or at least be aware of what's going on. Because that was a cool silver lining. And
people were like, it was emoji applause everywhere. Like everybody was like, yay, we're standing up. They were just like really making an effort to reach out to us. And that was so important to us.
I even got virtual flowers.
We did have virtual flowers, yeah.
People would post like a picture of a bouquet of flowers. I was like, oh. That's kind of cute.
And but I think what was most exciting was people were having fun with it. I guess I didn't really expect that part, but like we were getting messages the night of the show before the show started that were like, we would like some drink suggestions, We're like Manhattans. Here's how you make it, So we're old fashions. We're like giving people drink suggestions, and it was just fun. They were having a good time at it, even though, we were making the most of it, I guess. And that was really fun.
Now, Pam, I know you have some pictures from the production
Oh,
taken
yeah.
by Kathy, who is right here with us, who also operated a camera. Kathy, before we check out some of those photos, oh, never mind, there they are. Marilla, that's a really attractive face.
I'm probably the most photogenic person you'll ever meet.
Marilla, there were parts of this production where I really felt like you were channeling Audrey Hepburn. Truly, when you were sitting in front of the window, and you were wrapping yourself in the blanket, the quilt, and it kept like falling off your shoulders, but you kept like pulling it back up. And the way you looked at the camera, you knew exactly what you were doing. I knew you were in like a 1940s, 50s movie. And I think that's the end of Act 1, wasn't it?
I don't remember where that is. And God, it's just been so long.
It's like the middle of Act 2.
Middle of Act 2. Yeah.
Okay.
There.
I loved it. But Kathy, what was it like for you to operate a video camera versus what you're more familiar with as a photographer?
Yeah. It was similar and different. That's a poor way of putting it. I mean, I did the video with the show before I did the pictures, and usually I do the pictures. So I think starting with the video was good for me, and then I was able to take what I saw in the pictures and then apply it to my next round filming, right? So it's like I got a dry run, and then I had the rehearsal to shoot it, which I do see things very differently. It's funny, Garrett, I came home right away and plugged the thing in that you got me, and I was like looking through to see what it looked like and where did I, did everything look okay? And I've always been a film lover. That was my passion growing up. I was a film critic, like analyst or whatever in college. And so when Pam asked me to do this, I was like, oh, this is my chance, I went with still footage because I felt like that was safer. So it was really interesting to do both. I don't know. They look different to me. And they're not edited. None of those photos are edited. That's what Garrett, whatever settings you had the camera on, dude, like you're hired because
Did you see some of the video? Did you see some of the video?
Yeah. Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible. I mean, he's a master. I mean, the real deal. So.
Greg, I think I have a video clip of Kathy.
A monthly allowance of $35. This will ensure an equality with her fellow students. 5. Miss Abbott must write a letter of acknowledgement to Mr. Smith once a month. Not thanks. Thanks was
That was her down on the floor.
Down in the baseball hat, because I was looking for brown hair. Where is she?
But then that was also when you showed that the computer monitor. That was what Kathy was shooting, right?
Yes.
On the floor. That's very cool.
I was like, we can do this. It was really exciting.
I'm sure anybody who's watching or will be watching is dying to know what went wrong.
Oh man,
Oh, boy.
you know what? We need RJ for this conversation. He's knocking on the door, but we're full.
Oh,
I wondered.
So we have to wait.
We can bow out if you need him.
You're gonna bow out? Okay, Paula.
Okay, mom's bowing out.
Paula did all the costumes. They were beautiful, perfect, perfection. I mean, just amazing.
Thanks. It was so much fun, Pam. It was a privilege that you asked, and it was such a joy to be a part of.
It was a lovely experience. It really was. So.
John did save the day.
Yeah.
So
Good.
So we'll preface this with John saved the day,
yeah.
but we'll let RJ
And then
in
now-
to help tell the story.
That's right. Here's the face. And
Yeah,
then now
John.
let RJ in to tell the story.
All
All right, I
John,
hope
stay on the
you
chat.
guys. I hope to see you all soon.
Mwah.
Thanks, Paula.
All right, we'll wait for him. I don't know where he is, but
Yeah. While he's diving in here, I'll just tell you a little bit about my experience watching, because Friday night I watched right here on
We're hearing nothing, Greg.
We lost you, Greg.
Lost me.
Oh, there you are.
There you go.
That was
You were sitting there.
Do that. It was a
Yeah,
trick.
Friday night I was sitting here on my computer, loved it. The audio was so clear, the video was clear, it looked great, it sounded great, it was interesting, the music was beautiful. Love Marilla and Damon, everything, all fantastic. Saturday, as all of you know here, I got to sit in the back of Fat Singer Hall and watch what you did live, which was really interesting for me to see how everything was happening. But that also means I got to experience the show in person and compare it with what I saw in the live stream. And while I loved being in the room to see how it happened, I really want everyone to know that it was so good watching the live stream, because the show was so intimate with the two of you. And I think, Pam, it was such a smart choice to present it that way. I think the show benefited from being seen through a camera, because we could get so close to Marilla's face, to Damon's face. We could superimpose them like Garrett did at the end of Act 1, which gave me chills. I loved it. So there he is. So truly, I mean, hopefully someday everybody can see this in person, but it worked quite well watching it through a video camera. I'm really glad that I am able to say that. Look at all these good pictures. Oh, I love that one.
They made it easy. Love it. You made it easy. Right?
So RJ, hi. We wanted to talk about any surprises, mix-ups, challenges
What went wrong?
that happened.
Yeah, but you had to kick out my sister to do it.
Yep.
So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Mix-ups. So could be when I was running downstairs with a laptop? Would that
That would be that. Yeah. Why don't you
Looking
start
like
there?
you've seen a ghost.
Yeah.
Tell the story of Friday night, Arj.
So the story of Friday night is that if it hasn't already been said, I was serving as box office / tech support during the nights of the show, where I was monitoring Pam's Facebook page. Thank you, Mikey.
Mikey calling you out.
But I was watching Pam's personal Facebook page, Theater 444's Facebook page, the chat stream that was inside of the system itself, and an email account. And so, and Facebook Messenger. So I was monitoring all those for people, if they were having problems or if they got pumped out of the stream and they needed their code again or whatever. So we started to get on Friday night, is after Pam's curtain speech, as soon as Marilla started singing, I started, all these platforms are blowing up at once. It sounds like she's in an echo chamber. Because if you can imagine, it was sort of, the audio sounded like it was looping on top of itself. If you've ever held up a mirror to a mirror, you get that kind of, so that's what her voice was doing.
My wife said it was like Alice in Wonderland meets Daddy Longlegs. She really loved it.
So then I had to put my headphones on and then listen to the stream, and then I realized it was true. So Garrett wanted me to try it from downstairs. So I flew by the stage trying to stay out
singing.
While she's singing.
Right,
I see RJ zoom by.
And I knew where the camera was, so I was trying to stay out of camera range, and flew downstairs, and yes, it was still echoey and awful. So then I had to run back upstairs tell everybody to cut it, Garrett had to put up a slide that said, "Yeah, we know," basically.
Well, the funny part is we didn't know. Like it sounded fine on our end.
Yeah, and it sounded fine in
It
Garrett's
sounded fine. So
in Garrett's monitor. It sounded fine.
right. So we would have never known had people not told us. So we are so grateful people told us that they were having a problem. And then multiple people said we're having a problem. So we knew that it was something. But on our end, it sounded great. We were all proud of ourselves for a moment there.
Yeah, we were in
I mean, this is something that you've wondered about for months and months. How is this going to work? We're doing all of this hard work preparation wise, and we don't actually know what's going to happen when it is streaming. And then opening night, the first 5 minutes of the show, the audio isn't working correctly. What did that feel like?
We were so ready. We were so
honestly, Greg, it felt so strangely comforting.
He's lying. I'm gonna
No. He doesn't.
Wait, I want to hear it.
Because some of you may know the story of, there was a time when, I was climbing the rigging of the Smith Opera House because of a problem that was happening. And I was literally climbing the ropes to get to one that was connected. It felt strangely familiar. Like flying through, solving a problem on the fly. It really, honestly, that was my first thought. I was running downstairs thinking, oh, this is cool. I kind of missed this little rush of adrenaline. There's always something. It's, whose mic pack has mysteriously stopped working? There's a light that blew that waited until we literally just started, and it's the most important light fixture in the whole show. Like there's always
an entire light board in Pippin's case.
Yeah. Right.
So
there's always a little something. So in some ways, it felt like
live theater.
And
yeah.
Everybody that was saying, "Are you sure this isn't just being rebroadcast?" Like, nope, it's happening.
Here's your evidence.
So
Yeah,
I'll talk about that a little bit, Greg.
Go ahead, Garrett.
So in preparation of opening night, we said, all right, we need to do a test stream to make sure it works.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that on Tuesday night, and everything worked flawlessly.
Perfect.
RJ was able to watch it from his house. Pam watched it from multiple different Wi-Fi networks, and everything sounded perfect. So, opening night, we went into it. Okay, we don't have to worry about anything. Well, I forgot that I had changed one little setting, and until we had this issue come up, and then, I'm panicking, trying to figure out what's going on. And all of a sudden, John William, 16-year-old kid next to me, just goes, I had a problem like this once. And instantly it was just, okay, cool. That's exactly what it is. Let's
Playing
fix
a
it.
video game.
Yeah.
When he was playing a video game.
Video game.
So parents, all that gaming is really something else.
He was able to use it, but yeah, while it was comforting to have that, something always goes wrong, it was something that I have never experienced, just stopping in the middle of a word, in the middle of a phrase. The director's just and I was just like, all right, so we're not going to sing anymore. That was pretty bizarre.
Well, and then Meredith and I were kind of over in a corner, and so we couldn't see anything that was going on. My phone was blowing up in my pocket because all my friends that were watching were texting me as well, saying something's wrong. But Meredith, we couldn't see, and obviously people weren't yelling. So it was interesting because I finally turned around and Pam's like, "Tell her to stop playing." And Meredith's like, "Stop, okay, I'm done."
Yeah. I just stopped. And I was holding my breath. I was like, "What is happening?"
It's very long.
3 minutes and 21 seconds.
Forever. But it was
resolved fairly quickly. I'm sure it felt like an eternity, but
it felt like a million minutes, but it really was 3 minutes and 22 seconds. We know exactly how long it was. And it was the longest 3 minutes and 22 seconds of our lives. But if there was any doubt whatsoever that we were live, I mean, we were live.
Yeah.
But the rest of the show Friday night went smoothly. Saturday night went smoothly. Sunday, the world decided that we needed to have a windstorm.
Yes.
So what happened on Sunday?
So we started the stream at about 1:30, about a half hour before the show starts, and we had a great connection. We get to Pam's curtain speech, and halfway through the speech, my fiber optic internet just decided to stop working. We believe that was caused due to a pole over on 5 and 20 that had fallen over. So after about 10 minutes of waiting and hopping on RJ's hotspot so we could get a screen up that says we're experiencing
Yeah, we were
some
running
technical
the show on
difficulties,
a hotspot, folks.
we finally got internet back after about 10 minutes, and then we started the show over. And it was smooth sailing from there. We didn't lose internet again, but just another thing to throw into the mix.
I think that going back to Saturday, it went so perfectly because Garrett fell on the stairs Saturday night. So every night right before we started, we had something happen.
Oh, right.
And I think that contributed to the success.
The theater building.
There was something the next
I
night,
forgot
too,
about
like,
that.
Were there?
No, he didn't just fall on the step. The step,
The step fell, yes.
the step dislodged from.
Just yeah.
You
And
didn't
then
fall
he
on the
fixed
step, the
it.
step fell on her.
Which is why you need to donate money to the Waterloo Library and Historic Society so they can
That's
keep
true.
updating
That's right.
Fair Hall.
That's right.
That's the truth.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful space, but the step took out Garrett. So we
Well, good for them because they have a new step. Garrett, we fixed it. So they have a brand new step all back put together. So
wonderful. Did anything else happen? So we've talked about a bunch of tech stuff. Were there any sort of normal mishaps, like any costume snafus? Did any broken toes? Any love affairs that we should know about publicly?
I know Abby had a pretty good moment with a costume malfunction. Abby did our test stream. She's my understudy, and like we had all our costume malfunctions in rehearsal, and we had some doozies. So Abby could tell you about that one.
Yes, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So me and Marilla shared a shirt for Act 2. And I put it on for the first time the night that I ran the show, which we thought it'd be fine, but I didn't realize that the material was so stiff because it's a really old, like authentic piece of fabric. And I put it on and I went to push the trunks and I just heard it rip in the back. And I was like, oh no, because it's not my shirt. I'm just running the show. I was like, oh my God. But then Paula, our amazing costume designer, she like sewed a lace on the rips and it ended up looking beautiful.
Yeah, so for the nights of the show in Act 2, I have these beautiful ruffles on my sleeve that look very like My Fair Lady-esque, speaking of Audrey Hepburn, and they're so pretty, but really they're there just because Abby was so her muscles just bust right out of that shirt. She was so strong. Couldn't contain her, so we added some ruffles.
I felt so bad. Oh, wait, I have another one. I also ruined the shoes.
Yes, the night that the
we wear
The grommet on the shoe came out.
Yeah, we wear it.
But
Yeah.
you handled it.
Yep.
those are just such typical theater things, and this is so atypical. Like now we're talking about like, streaming issues and internet dropping, and that is just bizarre. But RJ's right. There is a familiarity about live theater in that things happen. I think that's part of why we do live theater and why we love it is because the adrenaline rush of like having to solve things on the fly. And that was not missing from this production. So that was awesome. And I've noticed that a lot of companies that are streaming shows now, a lot of them are saying live stream because they are filmed live, but they are literally filmed and then re-shown live. This was literally live. Like you were in the room with us.
27 seconds behind
27
was
seconds.
the average time. So if you were watching at your house, you were 27 seconds behind what was actually happening at Fansinger Hall.
Yeah, there are all those like Damon, didn't the pen explode in your hand like
seconds before the show?
20
That was
seconds?
the What If series of events. Yeah, because I picked up the pen and I was like, this hasn't worked in a really long time. What if it just exploded? And I looked down and there's ink going down my hand. And we had about a minute and 30 seconds until we were supposed to start the second act, and I was like, better run. So I had to get in the bathroom and scrub all the ink off my hands and throw the pen, the pen off the stage and get out of there. So.
We do have some questions coming in from people who are watching, which is awesome. If you are watching and you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments. So Randy has a question for Abby about knowing that, Abby, you were new to the group for this production. How amazing of an experience was working with this group for you?
Incredible.
You're muted again, Abs. You're muted.
I'm laughing because like it's one of those things like you see on TV. Like, what are they going to say? Oh, he's an asshole. I'm glad he's dead. Like,
I hate those stinking people.
I got it.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry, go ahead.
It was incredible. These people are wonderful, and it was an amazing experience. It was also kind of insane because Damon told me how wonderful they were when he was doing Next to Normal. And
because you went to high school together, right?
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, they're incredible. Like, gotta do shows with them." And I was like, "I mean, I'll try." And then I got to do this, and it was incredible and more than I could have hoped for. And I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity. So yeah, I could go on for a long time.
She's also being humble. The girl jumped the first time she ever did the whole show, top to bottom, was the test stream, and did the whole thing without skipping a beat.
Flawless.
And your voice as a high school senior is just.
She's a junior.
Junior, sorry.
Yeah.
Woo! Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Anyway.
And not only that, but she jumped on the tech train too. She learned some tech stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And she showed an interest in helping us out in the future, right, Abby?
Yeah, totally. Definitely.
Even how to plug in the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That's right. That's important.
Yeah.
It's important to get that timing.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, did we talk about the fact that a key element of this high tech show, a key problem was solved
from the 80s,
1970s technology and an overhead projector.
Yeah.
So if y'all are out there, okay, this shot right there.
You're so quick with these pictures. Holy cow.
From the same overhead projector that your math teacher used in elementary school when they had all the ink down their hand. There is literally 2 pieces of painter's tape stuck to
projector to make Daddy Longlegs big legs behind me on the wall.
Yeah. Overhead projector.
They're magic.
Got to work with what we had, right?
That we found stuffed in the back of the theater. Yeah.
Right.
Kim beat me to the question about what is next. So we'll just go there now. Is this something live streaming of musical, something that Theater 444 will tackle again?
I think so. I feel like we got really good at it this time. We learned a lot. Abby, you need to mute, sweetie. There you go. We learned a lot. We made a lot of mistakes and fixed a lot of things and learned, some best practice on this whole thing. And I feel like it's something that we will do again. Particularly because I don't see theaters opening up anytime soon. I know Broadway's closed till at least June. Many are waiting till September. We don't want to wait that long to do theater again. And I mean, these guys know I cried like a baby on Sunday mostly because I knew that we had waited so long to do a show and then it was over. And I was like, how long is it going to be before we get to do this again? And so we'll figure something out. What I know now is this group is pretty scrappy and we'll figure it out. I mean, we will, because we just did something really out there for theater folks. This is out there. So, and we were successful at it, I think. Our audience was pleased. We had a nice sized audience too. I mean, truthfully, in all honesty, we had more people watch this production than we have all year in other shows that we've produced live in person. So that's both wonderful and disheartening a little, but because we want you to come to the theater, but amazing that we had so many people watching.
I said this to Pam virtually, well, probably over the course of the last night. I hope that we, sort of the collective royal we, really consider keeping a streaming production in our portfolio. Because how else could Lori and Beals in Italy or Marilla's friends in Italy that were like watching our live show
from Italy,
Marilla's aunt and some family members that have never been able to see her perform in Tennessee were able to watch. I have friends from Pennsylvania that watched. Like I think that this may be, I guess I'm going to say it again. I hope that we can figure out a way to keep a streaming show in our portfolio. And some of that is out of our hands in the form of the licensing companies. They're still figuring this out too, of how they negotiate with people to, the creative talent, because we want to make sure that they're getting compensated for their work and all those things. So it's this right now, the catalog is pretty limited of what's available.
Right. I think people think we can do anything and we really can't.
Yeah.
We have to wait until authors give us permission to stream stuff. So we have a very small list of things we can choose from.
But I agree that, even just, more so than people far away, it's in the conversation of how we make theater more accessible. I think this was a really good learning experience for us, like as a little company to there were people that were shut-ins, there were people that can't drive, there were people that are anxious about going to the theater by themselves, that were able to participate in this production that can't do that in a regular traditional show. So as far as accessibility, this opened the door to a lot of people that usually can't participate. So that I think is valuable. Was a good learning experience too.
I think that's really special, Marilla, because if you think about, I know, I worked in a box office for a couple of years, and the number of I only can come to a matinee because I don't like to drive at night. Right. Or, that's a common thing that we heard. Or you think about the way that a live streamed musical can go into a nursing home, a hospital, doing a
think about that, yeah.
Doing a production. I love theater for children. So doing a show for kids that could be streamed into a hospital wing for kids who won't be leaving the hospital necessarily would be so cool.
Yeah, certainly. So I think that gave us some courage. This gave us some courage, to kind of explore that a little bit too. So that's definitely cool.
And Sean's question here, when the pandemic is over, we'll consider doing live stream along with live audience simultaneously. Whoa. That would be a whole next level. If you had seen our theater and what it looked like, it would have been, really tricky to have. The cameras are intrusive a little bit for the audience. They would be in your way.
Yeah.
Our cameras were on wheels. They were moving around and they were moving all over the stage. they were up close to the stage and then they would move over. So I don't know that it would, not the way we did it anyway this time. There might be a way, and if there is, we'll figure that out.
There's always a way.
Boy.
Okay,
There's always
and
a
if
way.
Garrett says so, then it's true.
Then it is.
And also the right kind of performance space.
Right, in the round.
I've said to some people before that it's ironic that this incredibly historic space was set up in such a way that it was perfect. I mean, we had tiered seating where we could get, you know, on the same level as that upper stage, like you see over Marilla's shoulder. There was a camera set up that was essentially could be a straight shot. If we were in a regular theater, we'd have to have ladders and platforms, and think about what you have to do to use a spotlight in a regular theater. You know, it would be sort of like that. So it's just so ironic to me that, you know, I could see Black Box, but you know, this space in many ways was perfect. And there's something really, really cool about that.
So back to the question, what's next? Can I say it?
You do have something coming up next.
Should I tell folks?
Yeah.
So we are so excited because we have had lots of people say to us, I heard the show was amazing. I'm so sad I missed it. And typically with theater, when you miss it, you miss it. It's gone. It's gone. And so I really am passionate about reminding people, you're going to miss it. You only got 3 days to go. You're going to miss it because it disappears. And then people say it was so wonderful. And then people regret not going and missing it. So in this case, another benefit of the situation is we have a recording of the show. And we reached out to our royalty company, and they've allowed us to post the show for on-demand purchase. So if you missed the show, you can go to our website right now and buy a ticket. And then you have 48 hours to watch the show at your leisure. You could probably watch it 5 times in 48 hours if you wanted to. And so it's sort of like renting a movie online, and you get to watch it, and you'll get to see Saturday night's perfect performance.
That's true.
So we are so thrilled to be able to offer that so that anybody that has missed the performance can go on our website right now and rent it on demand. And that'll be available until February 28th.
Pam, can I ask a clarifying question?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 48 hours from the time you buy the ticket?
So it's actually 48 hours from the minute you go to the website. So not to purchase. When you purchase your ticket, you're going to get an email with your stream link and your code. And when you click on the stream link to go to the stream, it starts then. So what I can say to you is this is a great Christmas gift to give somebody.
It's a virtual stocking stuffer.
It's a virtual stocking stuffer. I mean,
true.
honestly, you can go on, buy a ticket. They'll send you the email with the ticket and the streaming link. Don't go there, because if you go there, you start the 48 hours. But if you don't go there and you just print the ticket off and give it to someone for the holiday, they can use it up till February 22nd, 28th.
You could put Damon and I in someone's stocking.
Ooh.
That's got to be a very long-legged stocking.
Oh, I see what you did. Long leg.
Just saying.
So I have created a little gift certificate, per se. If you wanted to, it's on our website. You can just print it off and attach it to your ticket and put it in someone's stocking or give it as a gift. And it's a great opportunity to give theater to people. It's just, I love that idea. So
Cute.
Pam, how much is a ticket for this on-demand
Yeah.
Daddy Longlegs?
So the ticket is $18. Unfortunately, we had to raise the price just a couple bucks because of the streaming royalties, but you get it for 48 hours. So you can watch it multiple times and you can share it. You can have a party, bring 20 people over and watch it.
Well, maybe don't bring
10.
20 people over.
Yeah,
Under 10.
How about 10? Or 9?
That was,
How about 9?
Pam, yeah, 9 people, wear your mask. Spread an enthusiasm because it's worth it. Buy a gift certificate for somebody for the holidays, Thanksgiving present, Christmas present, Hanukkah present, whatever you celebrate, Kwanzaa, it doesn't matter what it is. Give people theater. So you can do that.
I mean, it's crazy to be able to give people this gift. I mean, it's just another unintended wonderful consequence of this whole scenario. And I love that we have this opportunity. So please tell everyone you know, share it out, tell people, and we'll post the information again to remind everybody. But
while we're talking about a virtual stocking stuffer, Pam, you also have some items that people can physically put in a Christmas stocking. What are some of those?
When you watch it 3 times in 72 hours. Well, there you go.
But wait, there's more. It's a football and a phone. Sorry, it's your old reference. Sorry, go ahead.
We have 2 Theater 444 shirts left. Just 2. Honestly, that's all I have left. I'm probably not going to get more of those. We've gotten multiple lots of those because people really wanted them. I have 2 left, so you can order those on our website. We have tons of Christmas bulbs for your Christmas tree available, and you can also get those on our website. And what I just ordered and is coming soon and is going to be available in December is our Theater 444 18-ounce mug. So if you're a coffee drinker or tea drinker, those will be coming in December. So we are so cute. We are so cute. We're just like, so we got swag.
So all of those things can be purchased through the Theater 444 website, which is theater444.com. You can also make a donation on the website if you would like to, or purchase a ticket for Daddy Longlegs on demand via the website. While we're talking about that, go ahead and like Theater 444 on Facebook or on Instagram. Give them a follow. Marilla, you did a whole bunch of sort of Instagram takeover the week of the show. I watched everything. I was such a Daddy Longlegs groupie that week. I watched Marilla put on makeup in the morning, walk her dog, work at her store, get to rehearsal, come home at night, everything. I was there for it. What was that like, Marilla, to do that? That's such a fun thing to do.
It was a lot of fun. It's a little strange because now that I have a business and I'm more present on social media, so I'm a little more used to it, but it is odd going through your day-to-day and being like, what, maybe people would like to see this. It's weird that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do my makeup. Maybe people would like to see this, but people are just inherently nosy. So, and I'm very nosy. So it worked out for me because I just had fun thinking about what would I want to see if I knew somebody in the community was doing this. What would I maybe not think of? And a lot of people, something I tried to focus on, which is why I showed like working at the store and getting ready in the morning as opposed to before rehearsal, things like that. I put on there because every single person on this interview and everyone else that worked on the show that isn't here, everyone who does community theater has day jobs and they're not getting paid for this. And it's such a labor of love and it's such a sacrifice of time. It's just, there's so much that goes into it for, nothing traditional in return, but like just the experience of creating something beautiful. So I thought it was kind of fun. I had some people respond to that and be like, oh my God, that's so much time. That's so much work. How are all you guys like putting this big production on while, still Pam's going to work every day and at a school district, and Meredith's a nurse, and like, so that was fun for people. It was just kind of cool to be able to include people in those behind the scenes. We even had some moments of like Damon clapping to make sure the sync was on. None of us knew what was going on, but he did. Garrett did. Yeah. But like those little moments are fun to look back for us. And so I thought it would be fun for people to watch that process and kind of feel like they were a part of it and get excited and be included in the anticipation. So it was fun. It was fun.
I think it was effective. I know. I
this
also,
worked for you, Greg.
It was great for me. It gave me something to do. I was waiting for a day where Damon was going to take over Instagram, and it never happened. Damon, why not?
I was never offered to take over.
Now we're getting into it, everybody.
Well, you could have just said, I'm no good at Instagram. You didn't have to throw me under the bus and be like, Marilla's selfish.
The tea is hot. Let me sip my tea. Ooh.
You are right, though. I am no good at Instagram, so I don't blame you.
I would watch. I just want you to know.
Well, now we know.
Next time, Damon. We have a few more questions. There was a shout out for Meredith from Randy and Exercise Zoo about what was similar or different about Slaying the Keys live stream. Meredith, do you want to respond?
So, for similar, I felt like I was just doing a regular show. My sole purpose is to lock in on Damon and Marilla. So that felt normal. I just followed what they were doing. The scary part was I had no idea what the people at home were hearing. So I just had to trust that it was all blending the way that I wanted it to and that it was sounding good. It was kind of scary.
There was a level of trust that was kind of unbelievable in this situation. I mean, for all of us, there was a real high level of trust necessary because Cass didn't know what they were looking like on screen. Meredith didn't know what it sounded like. I didn't know what it sounded like. Garrett had a headset on. I didn't know what it
I was about the only one who knew what was going on for a good bulk of the week.
Basically, we all had to trust Garrett. Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, Greg, Sunday night we watched the show, as most of us did. Damon was hunting, right, Damon? Yeah. But the rest of us watched it, and they had never seen it before. So it was pretty hilarious to watch with them.
Yeah. What was that like to see what it looked like through a camera?
There's a lot of shrieking. Yeah. There's a lot of gleeful shrieking. Yeah. Garrett can attest to that. I know for me, just to be able to see it come together, I just heard about it all. Like, oh, this looks so good. I have no idea. So to be able to actually see what Garrett was doing at the end of Act 1, like, it really was like, oh my God, that's so magical. And like, it just took it up a whole nother level from what because I said to Pam, like, we know from being on stage in shows before, you usually get a recording if you're lucky. And you kind of know though, if you've been to a musical before, what it looks like. So, if, okay, I'm over at, this side of the stage, that side of the stage. I kind of get that. I know what it looks like. I've been to shows before. But we had no reference for this because it wasn't really TV. It wasn't really movie. It wasn't really show musical. So, to be able to see what the end product was really special for me because I didn't know what to expect. And it was above and beyond, Garrett. So people should buy tickets to see it on demand.
And Meredith was like screeching Sunday.
Yeah, there were some
watch this. Watch this.
Oh boy.
Here I go! Oh my God, it sounds so good! I think we all have days.
Yeah, I was really excited. I had no idea, like my brain could not conceptualize what was happening. So it literally blew my mind. Like I still in my head pictured one solitary camera in the back, even though I could see Kathy moving all around. I just couldn't. So to see it on the screen and to hear it was awesome.
She didn't
It was
see your
awesome.
setup until the Thursday night dress rehearsal, and she went up there and was just the look on her face. She's like,
Uh-huh.
"How
And I
is
was
your
just
brain not melting?" Like,
Yeah, it was
Garrett,
pretty
was
cool
it
to see
fun to
everybody's
watch?
reaction.
Yeah.
Sunday, I'd already seen it, 5 times now because we did so many rehearsals and then 3 nights of the show. But to be able to sit back and kind of see people's reaction was really cool, because usually I get that, intermission, people come out to be like, the lights are amazing or the sound sounds great, but we didn't have that for this. So to see
Right.
their genuine reaction to seeing it for the first time was really cool, really rewarding for me.
Here's their reaction to the end of Act 1.
oh boy, nailed it.
Love it.
I'm curious. Oh, shit, look at that. Your face is his world. Oh my god. Your face is his world. Oh my god. Now that's how you end. That's how you end.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
So fun.
We had fun.
And now we have to do it again and watch Damon watch it.
Yeah.
Right, because like now I'm sitting here like I really wonder what they're looking at right there.
Yeah, well, you'll never know, Damon. Sorry. Sorry.
Somebody asked what would have happened if Damon needed an understudy.
It was Rochelle.
Well,
So was the musical
actually,
time.
what happened one night was Abigail stepped in as Marilla, and Marilla stepped in as Damon.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. And honestly, I liked it. It was a great part.
Because Marilla knew all his lines. So
I didn't know my lines, but I knew Damon's.
yes, I think I have a picture somewhere, but that situation. But
yeah, somewhere.
Too funny.
I mean, the chemistry was really, really hot in that one. It was great. Oh man.
Pam, we also had a question about the Christmas sort of virtual cabaret that is coming up.
Yeah, we haven't really told anybody. So this is another brand new announcement that we were going to make tonight, was let everybody know that in December, we made the decision that we were going to do, here, I'm looking for this picture of Abigail and Marilla's too, but I can't find it. So we're going to do a cabaret for Christmas, just to say thank you to everybody for being so supportive of us. And it was just such a pleasure to do this show. And even with all of the problems that we had, people were so kind and patient, and it was just awesome. So on December 12th, we're going to do a little holiday happiness live stream cabaret on Facebook like we were doing this summer. And it'll be super fun. Just a night of Christmas songs. And so we're going to be doing that in December. And then we'll have our live stream going until February 28th. And hopefully we'll have something else coming up. We're working on something. Figuring it out. So.
Hey, Pam.
Uh-huh.
I think it's also, as a part of your thank you for all the people that, bought tickets and streamed the show. So many people donated. Yes, we had a lot of generous big donors, but even people that just sort of rounded up, like you can do at the supermarket. And all of that really makes a huge, huge difference.
It
and
does.
allows us to do things like this. And when, oh crap, we need to rent a lens, in the last 2 days, or something that we found, or, purchased, 3 USB adapter, whatever the hell they were, it enables us to do stuff like that when we have that cash on hand. And so just really, that's another thing we're thankful for and why we want to sing for you. As well as because we'll be missing caroling,
Yeah,
COVID.
alternative caroling. That's what it is.
COVID carols are a little bit. It doesn't work as well.
It's not the same vibe.
No.
Well, so we'll be here for you.
Will anyone in this room be singing on December 12th? Can we look forward to that? Damon, yes. Marilla and RJ and Abby and Meredith.
And Greg.
Garrett.
Okay.
I'm going to, yes.
Some extra Lipker sisters.
Extra Lipker sisters?
Yeah, I found a couple more, so we may have
there's
the Lipker sisters.
There's a song that I'm kind of obsessed with at Christmas time that I have been begging the girls to do. It's that silly Melakaliki Maka is the wine.
It could happen.
That the
It could
Andrews
happen.
sisters do, so I'm kind of, yeah.
RJ, you learn the Bing part, and we'll learn the Andrews sisters part.
Okay.
I'm just, Kathy, do you sing?
I no. Yes. Yes. I like to sing musicals in the car when we're on very long road trips or segments, and it usually involves the threat of walking to the store. But it is I have a nice musical theater arsenal in my head, so I can, sometimes it's just one of those days at work at Geneva High School, you just need to bust out. And it makes the kids laugh. No, I cannot sing at all. I don't think so. But I enjoy it.
Oh, come on. You and your famous dad could do like that fun David Bowie little drummer boy thing that he and Bing did,
That's true. Well, my famous dad often put me in the chorus when it was a musical. when it was a musical, the only solo he gave me was Tumnus in Narnia. And he said, "Why don't you just kind of act like you're talking?" And
Kathy
had double horns. He had a father. It was gentle, but it was not subtle.
So Christmas is coming, anyways.
I can do Christmas. I mean, who can't sing a Christmas song, right? I'll come on.
Great. Pam, is there anything else we need to know before we wrap up this reunion special?
Oh, I know. This is just craziness. We have done so many different things this year, and as I look back, it's actually very exciting that we got challenged in this way, because I think that when people, out of struggle comes creativity, and so that's what's happening right now. At least for us, it is as a group. We're now embracing this as a challenge and finding lots of ways to get to you and our audience and bring you art and music and share that with you. And I'm grateful this Thanksgiving for this group of people and for our patrons, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. Because I don't know what it is, but I know it is. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And thank you all for watching and coming and joining us for this journey that we went on that we're so proud of.
Yeah, congratulations, all of you and everybody who's not here. It was so enjoyable, and it was such a pleasure to watch and to observe you all throughout this process, in our interviews and Marilla's Instagram takeovers and the entire weekend of performances tonight. It's been really special. So thank you for sharing this with us. And come be part of another Theater 444 production soon.
Follow us on Facebook so you can get all the updates, and then you'll know what's going on. And I should say also, we just posted an album of beautiful photos that Kathy took of the show on our website. So go to our website and look at those. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. There's quite a few. And you'll get all the information you need right at our website. You can shop for your holiday, and you can buy on-demand tickets. We've got it all. We're ready for you. So thanks, Greg, for doing this with us.
Of course, this is fun. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.